Kinstretch. All right, Kinstretch is a class that focuses on improved bodily awareness and control. Okay, I know you guys are both runners. You guys have both trained with me for a while. You both have had some injuries. What we want to do through Kinstretch is kind of bridge the gap between flexibility and mobility. Okay, the difference is, you know, like if I can raise my arm up to here, if I can stretch it up to here, just kind of hold it and stretch, but yet I can only get it up to here through my like active control. I only have like that big window of discrepancy is a potential injury risk. Okay, so by bridging the gap between those two, we gain better control of our body, we prevent injuries, but we also perform better. And I know that like your goal, you said, was to like smash your PR in your 5K. So by improving your active range of motion, later in a race, when you're racing and you're tired, you're going to have better control. You're kind of getting in ranges, and you're running faster, and you're kind of fatiguing. You know, your body is going to work better as opposed to breaking down and slowing you down. And I know like you guys both told me like there are times in races where you want to kind of walk and stop. You know, if your joint has good control, you know, and you have good control of your body, it's less likely to happen. All right, so this is kind of like, you know, we kind of describe yoga as the macro because like you're holding poses and you're doing these whole body movements. Kinstretch is the micro, so we're really going to break it down and focus on each joint and kind of scanning each joint in this first part of our session, and these are called CARs. Okay, and CARs are going to be a warm-up. CARs stand for controlled articular rotations. Okay, and what that means is we're going to perform a full 360-degree motion around our joint. Okay, and what we're looking for is a lack of control, meaning when I'm doing a CAR, I want my body, the rest of my body, if we're moving my neck, for example, to remain stable, you know, as opposed to wobbling all around. We're also looking for pinch points. Okay, pinch points would be what's called a joint impingement. That's kind of where two bones are rubbing together, and that's a risk. That's a potential injury risk there. You know, it can lead to some undesirable things. So as we go through all of these, I want you guys to focus on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Eric's bats here. We're going to come on our knees. All right. So I'm going to give you guys we're going to start a tall kneeling position. Okay. Now, as we do CARs, the key thing is we can do them in different tensions. Okay. I can do them in a wider tension. I'm thinking about tensing everything. So as I'm in this position, I'm thinking about tensing my legs, tensing my quads, tightening my abs, kind of tightening my hands as well to kind of lock the rest of my body down. And I can do that at about 20% or a lighter tension. And that's just going to allow me to kind of warm up, you know, and move at a pace that is more palatable to me. Or I can do it at higher tensions like 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, which are going to be more for gaining more mobility. When we're doing that, we're tensing more, we're trying to grind out more, actually moving slower so we can gain more control. So when you're just warming up in the morning, you know, these are things that I recommend that you do every morning just to kind of get everything moving and send your body good sensory information. It's kind of like mapping images of your joints, and so you know you have good control of those areas. Doing them in the morning at about 20%. When you're trying to actually gain more motion, gain more physical control, you want to tense higher. Okay, so as we go through these, we're going to do 3 reps. We're going to do 1 rep at about 20%. We'll do 1 rep at about 50%, which is kind of halfway, and then we'll do 1 rep at 100%, where I want you guys to squeeze as hard as you can and really grind out that motion. All right. So our first car that we're going to work on is the neck. Okay. Now, I want you guys to pretend that your chin is like the is a clock, and we're going to, or the dial on a clock, and we're going to start at about 12 o'clock midnight here. We're going to go around to about 6 p.m. on the top, and we're going to come back around, and we're going to start at about 20%. So what I want you guys to do is we're going to just develop about 20% tension. Let's get our butt tight, let's get our abs tight, get our quads tight, and I just want you guys to follow along with me. So we're going to bring our chin, and we're just going to do 3 in each direction, clockwise as well as counterclockwise. So what I want you to do is we're going to bring our chin to our chest. Okay, we're going to bring our chin to our opposite clavicle. Let's start with the right. All right, we're going to start to count up. So let's go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I flipped it, that's okay. Let's start to count back down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Now let's tense up a little bit more. So think about pushing your feet to the ground, tense up. Let's get it at about 50%. Let's go back around. Chin to the opposite clavicle. We should be moving slower now. Think about your chin as a knife. It's cutting through the air. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's hold the top. Start to come back down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We've got one more to go. Let's tense up as much as we can. Again, we're cutting through some thick steel now with our chin, all right? So move slowly. Squeeze as hard as you can. All right, let's bring our chin to our opposite clavicle. Start to come around. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold it top. Let's start to come back through. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Now, as we went through that, did you guys notice any pinching or anything like that in your necks as we went along? Cool. Did you find that it was harder to go in one direction or in kind of one motion versus the other? Did you feel like your body was wobbling at all? Okay. If you do, tense up more, just in your own practice. All right. So let's go in the opposite direction. All right. So let's tense up at about 20%. Let's bring our chin to our opposite clavicle. Let's start to come around. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold the top. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold. All right, let's tense up to about 50%. So let's really squeeze. Again, we're cutting through the air with our chin. Come opposite clavicle. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's start to come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. All right, guys, I want you to stiffen up as much as you can. Let's get some more range here. Get as tight as you possibly can. Let's start to come back around for this last rep. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold the top. Let's come back through. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. That's awesome, man. I see you shaking. Good stuff. That's what I want right there. Seriously, when you're doing this, I mean, like literally, is lock it down as much as you possibly can. All right, so now, next joint we're going to work on is our shoulder. All right, so with our shoulder, we're going to get our palm up like this, and we're going to start at about 20%. And what you guys can actually do is let's take a tennis ball here, and we're going to squeeze the tennis ball in our opposite hand. Tennis ball is just going to allow us to radiate a little bit more, okay? And kind of what that means is if I squeeze something with my hand, everything else tenses up more, and that's going to give me more stability, all right? So the more we kind of brace as we're doing this, the tighter we can get. So again, we're going to stay at about 20%. So just give it a light squeeze. But as we get harder towards 50 to 100%, then we're going to really try to deform this thing, all right? So let's start to come through. Here we go. Just follow along with me. We're going to come to the top. Now, holding in this position, think about keeping your ribs dropped down, so don't arch your back. We start to turn our palm to face behind us like this. All right, so there you go. Now, there's a little chipmunk behind you. You're trying to backhand him. And we're going to start to come around. And what I want you guys to do is try to keep your arm as close to your body as physically possible. All right, we're going to arrive with our palm facing the wall behind us. Okay? And now, if you find that as you're doing this, your arm is like way out here as opposed to close to your body, that means that this is something that we could potentially work on. All right? Now, we're going to start to come back in the opposite direction. We're going to get our arm up as high as we can before turning and coming back around. All right, now if you notice that it was harder to keep your arm here, let's try to get some more motion. So I want you to squeeze the ball. Okay, this is going well, so kind of force some more motion. Keep the arm in as we go through this. So let's get tight, and let's bring it back through about 50%. Slowly, your thumb is a knife. We're cutting through air. Get as high as you can. Keep your arms tense, or keep your everything tense. Don't let your back arch. Palm faces behind you. Now push your arm into your body. Stay close to your body. Stay close to your body. Stay close to your body. Good. You guys might have heard some cracking and popping. That's okay. That just means you need it. All right. Now palm faces behind us. Let's come back around. Slowly tense up. Move through. Slowly come through. Good stuff, guys. Now let's go to 100%. I want you to squeeze as hard as you can. I want to see your ball physically deform, man. So I want to see you shaking like you were. All right, that's right. Just make sure, don't arch as we do this. Keep your kind of ribs dropped down. All right, let's go to 100%. Squeeze, and let's come through. Slowly move through. Your thumb is cutting through steel. Your thumb is a knife. It's welding through there. Palm faces backwards. Push into your body. Push through, push through. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Slow down, get that motion. And let's come back around. Same thing, squeeze as hard as you can. Let's get the arm up as much as we possibly can. Keep it close to your body, get more motion. Turn your palm and face around. And so let's slowly come through. Beautiful. Okay. Just kind of shake it out and relax. I know, right? You'll be really tired at the end because we're tensing and let it go so much. All right, so let's change our hands here. And again.
Yeah.
There. Catch. Okay. All right, got it. Okay, so let's get it at about 20%. All right, we're just going to start to come through. So again, we're just lightly cutting through the air here. And you can kind of see the difference between kind of what a warm-up pace would look like or what we would do in the morning. So turn your palm and face backwards there, Nance. Other way. There you go. Let's start to come through. Let's start to come through. There you go. All right. Now let's start to come back the other way. Palm faces backwards. Get up as high as you can. You start to rotate around. And we start to come back through. And one thing to notice as we do this is like one side different from the other side. The side that doesn't work as well could use more and kind of more focus in your own personal practice. Like I might do, like in the morning, I might do like 2 to 3 on the good side, or the bad side, or I'm sorry, the good side, the side that doesn't really need it. And I might do, 5, 6, 7 throughout the day on the side that needs more work. All right, so let's tense up more and let's start to come through. About 50%, get to the top, start to turn our palm and face backwards, and let's come around. Beautiful, guys. Palm facing backwards and stay at that 50%. Really squeeze that ball. Come around. Palm start to turn. And let's come through. Good stuff. Now 100%. I want you to crush that thing, Nance. Crush it, Cheryl. Get as much as you can. Grit those teeth. All right, let's bring it through. Get to the top. Palm faces backwards. Start to come through, grind through, grind through, grind through. I love it. I love it. Let's come back through. It looks like you're getting a root canal or something, right? That means that you're tensing. Bring it through, slowly move through. Good stuff, guys. All right, so our last position in tall kneeling, we're going to work on our shoulder blades, okay? So these are our scapulae. And we're actually going to hold on to our ball for the shoulder that we're going to work on here. What it looks like, basically, and I'll show you this one first. It's a circle, but I kind of look at it like a box in the sense that we come forward, we come up towards our ear, we come back, and we come down. All right, now, as I squeeze the ball, we're going to do this. We're going to do 3 reps clockwise and counterclockwise. We're going to do them at different tensions. Again, squeezing the ball is just going to help me to feel my scalp a little bit more as we come through. So let's just start at about 20%. All right, so let's just push forward with me. All right, so straighten our arm out, Nance. All right, there you go. Let's bring our shoulder up towards our ear. Bring our shoulder back into our pocket. Let's drop down. Okay, now I want you to squeeze it a little bit more. And you see how your elbow wants to bend? Try to keep it as straight as you possibly can. That's a lot of the time our body will fake arm motion for scapular motion. So this is as a runner too. That's like a common thing as you're swinging your arm. So this is a good one for you. All right, so let's squeeze it harder this time. Try to keep that arm straight. Get more motion. Push forward. Let's bring it up. Let's retract, and let's come down. Awesome. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Crush this ball. Don't worry, I'll get more at Walmart. All right. Let's push as far as we can. Let's bring it up. Let's come around. And let's drop back. Good. Now we're just going to reverse the motion. Okay, we're going to go back and through like that. All right, so let's just go backwards. Let's come up. Thank you. Let's come forward. And let's come down. Thanks, Meg. All right. Again, let's squeeze a little bit harder. Come back. Come up. Come forward. And come down. Last one, get as tight as you can. Let's come back, squeeze, up, forward, and down. And you kind of notice, like when you're doing that, right? Like your body wants to move quickly through those areas. Moving kind of slower and just sticking each one. Pause, 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 pause. It's kind of a good way to just focus on getting stability in that position. So really focus. Think about doing that. Like the speed is slow. Okay, it should be very slow. It should be kind of pausing each range. All right, so let's do this other side. Okay, so let's hold it about 20%. Let's come forward. All right, it's like you're punching a chipmunk with your scapula. Let's bring your shoulder up towards your ear. Let's come back, retract, and let's come down. Let's do this again. Let's about 50% forward. Let's come up. Let's come back. Let's come down. Good. Last one. Squeeze as hard as you can. Forward. Up, back, down. Good stuff, ladies. All right, now just relax your arm a little bit. We're just going to come backwards. Okay, so let's come back. Come up, forward, come down. Again, about 50% back, up, forward, down. Last one. Squeeze as hard as you can. Back, up. She's just like, I got this. I am. Forward and down. Excellent. All right, guys, shake it out. That was awesome. So now we're gonna work on our hips as well as our spine. So what we're gonna do is, and we can do our cars in various positions. And as we go through class, we'll do them in standing. We'll do them in kneeling. We're gonna work today though what's called quadruped. Okay, so quadruped, we're gonna be on all fours. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is we're gonna come on all fours like this, and we're gonna put the block on your back. Okay, so now this is a big one for you guys because you are runners. We're going to flush your hip joints. Okay, so just like you brush your teeth every day, doing this to your hip is just going to make sure that we're keeping everything nice and stable. We're getting everything moving. You know, ensuring we're sending our joints and our nervous system good sensory information every day. So what I want you to do is straighten your arms out. You're going to tuck your elbows forward like this. Now, I'm going to demonstrate one as we go through this. I want you guys to think about just moving from your leg, right? If I don't have control and I move too far over, my block comes off the ground. So again, only do this as high as you can with your back staying flat. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing in the sense that we're going to go at 100% tension, 50% tension, 20% tension. But again, I want you to focus on getting good control. It doesn't matter how high you go. This is not a class of comparison, okay? So let's just start at about 20%, okay? So what I want you guys to do is just follow me. We're gonna get our knee up to our chest. We're gonna start to bring our leg out to the side like this. Okay, we're gonna start to paint the sky with our toes. So we're gonna start to come around, kind of holding at the top here. We're just gonna arrive back in the same position that we were in. All right, now we're just gonna reverse that motion. So we're just gonna kick our leg up. We're going to start to rotate our knee around, bring our knee into our chest. We're going to come back around. Good stuff. All right, now, if we do want to get more motion, we just tense our bodies more. So now what I want you guys to think about doing, push your body away from the ground, all right? I'm going to start to tuck my hands together. I'm going to start to tense up more. I just saw you kind of side bend a little bit there, Nancy. I want you to really lock down that midsection, all right? And try to get as much true motion through your hip as possible. So let's bring our knee to our chest again. We're at about 50% tension here. Let's start to bring it out to the side as much as we can. Just hold here for a second. This is the amount of what is called hip external rotation that you got right now. All right, let's start to take our toes and paint the sky. All right, so kick your leg up towards the sky. Really thinking about kind of just holding something on our foot as we come through and then we come down. Excellent. All right, again, let's tense up at about 50%. We're going to come through in the other direction. Okay, so let's extend our hip. Let's come up like this. Let's start to bring our knee to our chest and start to come around. There you go. Bring your knee into your armpit as much as you possibly can and arrive back in quadruped. All right. Nice. So last one, we're going to tighten up as much as we possibly can. We're going to push away from the ground. We're going to get as tense as we can. With this one, you should be able to force out more motion from your hip. Don't let your body move, but really challenge yourself on this one, all right? So let's tense up. Let's get our knee to our chest as much as you possibly can. Start to get our leg out to the side as much as we possibly can. Get more. Start to rotate the leg around. There you go. Knee, foot up to the sky there, Nance. There you go. Rotate fully around. Come down and come through. Excellent. All right, now let's just reverse that motion. Let's start to come back around. Let's get our leg up towards the ceiling here, foot up towards the ceiling. Let's start to bring our knee to our chest. Bring your knee into your armpit, squeeze, and come through. I know, right? That burns, doesn't it? All right. Nice. So you guys can stand up for a second or come up, just kind of shake your wrists out a bit. We're not going to spend too long in this position, but again, we can do this. We can do this in standing as well, or we can do it even in sideline. So there are a lot of different options for each of the cars. As we go through the class, you'll be able to kind of find the right one for you. All right, so let's go. Let's come to our other side here. Okay, so now let's get that thing on your back. Girl. All right. Okay, so we're in this position again. We're going to start at about 20%. So let's start to bring our knee to our chest there. Start to bring our leg out. So side of the leg towards the ceiling. Now, you start to rotate around. Paint the ceiling with your toes. Hold the top, just hold there for a second, and start to come down. Cheryl's looking at me like, what? All right, so we're staying at 20%. Let's start to come back around. So let's extend up. Let's start to bring our knee to our chest, keeping the same position. Don't let that block move. And let's arrive back in quadruped. Good stuff, ladies. It's excellent control. One suggestion I'll give you, Nancy, is open your hands up as much as you can. Push into the ground. Okay, now, tense. You're going to get about 50%. You can push your hands together. Think about pushing away from the ground. Let's bring our knee to our chest. Let's start to get the leg up towards the sky. Oh. Let's start over. So again, like I want you to challenge yourself, but I don't want you to be so ambitious that you lose control. Okay, so come up. I like the block because that kind of gives you good feedback as far as what happens. All right, so let's go again at about 50%. So to bring our knee to our chest. Let's bring the leg out to the side. Start to bring it through. Paint the sky with your toes. And let's bring it back down. Excellent, ladies. Push into the ground. Push away from the ground. Hands together. 50% tension. Let's bring the leg up towards the sky. Hold. Start to bring the knee towards the chest. Within your armpit. And bring it through. All right, Nancy. This is the last one. I want you to tense up as much as you can as well, Cheryl. We're going to get as tight as we can. Maybe spread your knees a little bit wider. That'll give you a little bit more support. Here we go. Let's tense up. 100%. Let's get our knee to our chest. Let's bring our leg out to the side. Start to paint the sky with your toes. Come around. Tense up. Cut through the air with your foot. Hold at the top. Squeeze. Come down. Excellent. Now we're just going to start to do the opposite. We're going to come up and around. All right, so push into the ground. All right, let's start to paint the sky with our toes. Hold at the top. Let's start to bring our knee into our chest. Squeeze. Get more. There you go. Come down. Excellent. All right, so you can check that out. What we're going to do is we're going to take our block here, and we're just going to sit on our block. Okay, so block is under your butt. All right, so you guys are runners, right? So these next two are super important for you because most of the injuries that we see with running, with really any sport that involves the legs, is going to start at the ankle. Okay, so good control of our ankle is a huge, huge deal. And oftentimes what happens is I'm moving, all of this moves together. So what I want you guys to do is we're going to bend one knee. All right, we're going to put our hands kind of right up where this bone is right here. This is kind of our landmark. Okay. Now, this bone is what is called our tibia, okay? And we're going to work on rotating this thing in a second, but what we're going to start with is our ankle, okay? We just want to get good control of our ankle independently of anything else, all right? And what I want you to think about, just like we're focusing on with our chin, is our ankle is like a clock, all right? We're at 12 o'clock midnight at the top and 6 o'clock at the bottom. And what we're going to do, and I'll show you this first, is we're going to do slow circles, okay? And what you'll find is that your toes are going to want to move and kind of wiggle. I want your toes to stay in line with your foot. I also don't want this to move, okay? So we're trying to get motion from here as opposed to motion from here. So kind of use this where your hands are as sort of a monitor there, okay? So we're going to start. We're going to do two circles clockwise and 2 circles counterclockwise. Not going to worry so much about tensing here. We're just going to worry about that control. So let's say we're at about 50% for each of these reps. So let's put our hands here on our tibia, and let's start to come around. I'm going to count you down to 12. So let's rotate as far as we can to our left. Let's start to go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold. Let's start to come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's come back around. 7, 8, 9. You see how your toes are going to curl down? Just try to keep them as pointed as possible. 11, 12. Let's start to come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And again, these are just kind of things like, so what? Your toes curl, right? That doesn't make you a bad person. What I'm telling you though is that doing this particular drill for you, and I tell people like my cards routine takes me about 10 minutes every day, right? I'm not going to take 30 minutes like we're doing today to do them, but I'm going to pick the ones that are relevant for me. So as a runner, you're warming up for running, or you know that that's your thing, you've had some injuries in your lower body, this would be one that you want to focus on, because you can see like maybe you have a lack of motor control in one ankle versus the other. Doing these cars helps normalize that. That's a big deal, so our body doesn't overwork on one side and get hurt. All right, so let's just come around the other direction. That's right, Nance, get it all off there. All right, so let's start to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to go to our right, and we're going to count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's hold the bottom here. Let's start to come around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's hold. Let's do that one more time. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's start to come back around. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's a crazy clock because I keep switching it, but that's all right. Let's switch sides here, ladies. All right, so let's put our hands on our opposite tibia here. Don't worry, you can have the shoes off. It's a safe place here. I'm not, I'm a soft monster. So, all right. So let's bring our toes up. We're just the same thing. We're a clock here. We're going to count from 6 to 12. So let's start by going to our left. Let's go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's hold here. Let's start to come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's do this one more time. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Awesome. Now let's just go in the opposite direction. So let's go to the right. Let's go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hold. Let's come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's just do this one more time. Let's come to the right. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, hold. Let's come back around. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Good stuff. Now, with that, could you guys notice a difference between one side versus the other? Did you feel like one ankle was a little bit different from the other? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So again, that's like something that's a good takeaway. So it's kind of like a body scan. Now, for this last one, we want to rotate our tibia, okay? And we're going to get motion from our foot as well, but I don't want the foot to drive the movement, okay? So I'm keeping my hands here kind of as just a governor of I'm just helping to give myself some motion here. We're not going to spend so much time on this one, but what I don't want to see is just this without this moving. So think about this drives motion here, all right? So we're just going to go 3 in and 3 out. So let's start together here, and I want you guys to just rotate in with me and just kind of hold here, okay? Now let's just rotate out the opposite direction. In the opposite direction. Just kind of hold here. Now, can you both kind of feel this bone moving? Awesome. Let's rotate it out again. So again, feel it come out. Let's rotate it in. Feel it come in. And the biggest thing is don't let that happen without this moving, because oftentimes these two things get out of sequence. Okay, let's bring it out again. Last one. Let's bring it in. Rotate in the foot. Let's bring it out. Rotate out with the foot. I like to show it. All right, let's switch sides there, guys. Okay. And there's a more complex sequence for this particular one, but just for time's sake, I'm going to keep it simple today. So let's start by rotating our tibia kind of in towards our knee, to the inside of our knee. Now, putting your hand here, let's just rotate out to the outside. Just kind of feel that move. And what I want you guys to focus on particularly with this is is there less motion in either direction on either side? Now let's start to rotate in again. And it looks like you might have a little bit less motion there, yeah? All right, let's rotate out. Excellent, let's rotate in. Good stuff, ladies. One more time, let's rotate out. Hold, and let's rotate in. Excellent. And as runners, those two in particular, and the hip, are great things to do to work on kind of mobility of the lower body. Now, last thing that we're going to do with cars is we're going to do a cat camel, okay? Have you guys done this in yoga, like a cat camel? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in yoga, a cat camel is kind of like this, right? Like everything comes down together. What we're going to do is what is called a segmental cat camel, okay? Now I'm going to demonstrate this one first. What we do is we start with our back rounded, okay? What I'm going to think about doing is dropping down from my lower back first kind of moving like a wave up my back. So each segment drops down, and then each segment comes back up. And the way I like to describe it is just like a little elf or a midget, like standing on your back, right? He's stepping on each vertebrae, extending each one. And how we're going to do this to kind of say and sync, because you can't see me, is I'm going to count us up and down. Meaning, we're going to start at our lower back. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the top. We look up into extension, and then I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we come back down. All right? So let's round our back out as much as we possibly can. And let's start to come down. Here we go. 1, the elephant's on my tailbone right now. 2, starts to walk up my back. 3, he's about the middle of my back now. 4, he's on my scapula. 5, and we're looking forward. And we're like, what is he doing with that? All right, now, he's decided to walk back down, so we've got to build him a bridge. Okay, so let's start to push up. We're going to go 5, starting at my kind of neck and scapula. 4, moving down to my mid-back. 3, 2, moving down my lower back. 1, kind of looking down, coming back in a full flexion. All right, so let's just do this one more time. We're going to start to drop down again. 1, lower back. 2, moving to the middle back. 3, coming to the upper back. 4, 5, and we look forward. And now we're just going to reverse this. All right, so let's start to come back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. The elf's happy. I'm happy. You're happy. You guys did great. All right. So we're going to come into. So now we're going to move into what are called base positions. Okay. And so these are Kinstretch positions that just help us to move better and help us to kind of get into different stretches and ranges of motion. So now we're going to kind of explore our body's range of motion a little bit more. Today we're going to focus on hip internal rotation, so the way my hips rotate, as well as hip extension. Okay, so with 90-90, what I'm going to do is, like, my foot is at 90 degrees here, my foot is at 90 degrees here. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust you just a little bit. Let's bring this foot out just a little bit that way. Okay, and what I want you guys to do is we're going to get as tall as we possibly can, and I want you guys to rotate towards your back hip. Okay, so we're going to look back this way, and we should feel like a stretch here in this back hip. Is that right? Can you both feel that there? Now, when we're stretching, one of the key things to think about is breathing, right? So, like, you ever done a stretch where you're holding in a position, you're like, oh, that hurts so good, like where it's like a 9 out of a 10? We want this to be like a 4 out of a 10 or a 3 out of a 10, not so much. And we want to be able to breathe in each position that we're in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out a couple deep breaths in this position. I'm going to give us a 4 count in and about a 6 count out, okay? So let's just hold in this position, get as far as you can. I want you guys to put your hand kind of on your lower abs like this. On a 4 count, we extend this area out, and on a 6 count, we slowly exhale. So let's come into this position, and let's count. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Fully exhale. Let's do one more breath. Let's inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4,